Hi, I am here with my friend Anya Mashaney. She is the owner and founder of Spaces Real Estate, and she has some really interesting and exciting news that I think is important for her to share with people because they just don't know these things. So, Anya, some of the industry changes, if that's my understanding, people aren't aware of the things they may be doing that aren't in their best interest when it comes to looking for real estate. So, can you explain that to us?
Yeah, sure. So the Department of Justice gave the National Association of Realtors a settlement over some longstanding complaints about who was paying who. And so, how that's broken down is that now realtors are expected to be compensated directly by their party. So, on the listing side, that's the seller, on the buyer side, that's the buyer. One of the stipulations of that settlement was that if you want to go look at a house, you have to sign an agreement with a realtor prior to looking at that house. So most of the time when you go and you call somebody that is, the person on the sign or the person on the Zillow, Trulia, whatever, when you call those people, they'll go show you the house and you don't have to sign anything before, right? Well, now they are supposed to have you sign something. And in most states, including Oklahoma, the the form that we've been given is actually a binding contract between the buyer and the realtor that is having them sign that. So, yeah, now
Wow.
more than ever, it's really important that before you start looking at houses, you get with a realtor that you know, like, or trust.
Yes.
Whether that's a personal referral from somebody in your sphere or someone you've used before. You're not bothering your realtor by calling them and wanting to peek at a house. That's my favorite part of real estate, is getting to look at the houses. You're never bothering me to call and look at a house. But a realtor that's knowledgeable about the settlement and about the key terms of the settlement and how to navigate the ever-changing real estate landscape is going to be able to not only help a buyer navigate how to get their realtor compensation paid without coming out of pocket for the buyer, but they will also be able to properly negotiate and help them navigate the deal as their representative. Myself included, and some other brokerages in other states have come up with forms that allow you to look at a house, say with me, without committing to using me to write the offer. So there's some workarounds, but you have to be working with someone who understands the terms of the settlement and is willing to educate you and walk you through those things.
So, if I'm understanding you right, you could get locked into working with someone that you don't know, don't necessarily trust, don't know if you even like them, if you're not aware that you may be signing a binding contract with just
Absolutely.
some random person.
So, for example, I have a team of agents underneath me. And so, we had a person who called one of my agents and wanted to look at a house. She had them sign their agreement to go look at the house, but she had them sign our version, which doesn't obligate her to using her as the realtor. But the client misunderstood and thought she was the listing agent because we're not used to signing things. And she did not understand that that was not, she called someone else. She ended up calling the listing agent because she was confused and thought that my agent was the listing agent. And the thing that she had signed with my agent was not binding to pay her, even though this client wanted to use her.
Yes.
So then the listing agent wrote the offer and had this buyer sign the binding agreement to pay that listing agent. So now that listing agent's double dipping. They get paid by the seller and they're getting paid by the buyer. And the buyer did not want to be represented by them and did not know or read what they were signing and didn't have those forms properly explained to them. So, even in a situation where you think you're doing the right thing and you go and you show, you look at a house with a realtor who's showing it to you and you want that person to represent you, there's so much misunderstanding about what you're signing and when that sometimes people just sign the paper you put in front of them and they don't really recognize what that obligates them to.
Yeah.
For example, if I wanted to have one of my clients go look at a house, I would have them sign a non-binding agreement with me to go look at the house. And then after we've looked at it, if they want to write an offer, at that point, We would have the conversation about how I'm compensated, how much I'm compensated, and how we're going to try to work that into an offer if needed.
Yes.
So in the past, it's easy to negotiate closing costs, and that's really all we're doing now is negotiating our commission for representing the client into that as well.
Yeah. Well, I appreciate your integrity of being willing to have a form that doesn't obligate them, so that they have that choice, where other people just slide that in and say, oh yeah, I'm gonna
Oops,
hook
you
you.
signed that, so now you owe me.
Yeah.
And I don't think that that's transparent. That goes
No.
against what I think the Department of Justice was trying to accomplish with this settlement. An increase in transparency is needed in our industry, and the only way to really go about that is through educating the public and educating our clients one by one. So I think it's important. I want to date my clients just like I want them to be able to date realtors. You know, I might not be the best fit for everybody, and I want them to have that opportunity to work with me and for me to earn their trust. And if they don't want to work with me, that's cool. I won't make them sign an obligation. And I think that some realtors are seeing this as an opportunity to, unfortunately, to commit people to working with them, and even if they don't want to.
Yes, I see your point. Well, I appreciate you educating us on that, and
Of course.
so that people know what they may be getting into. That's very important.
It's more important than ever that if you know a realtor or you have somebody that would recommend a realtor who's bought a home before, that you give them a call before you even look at any houses, just to get their take on the whole market.
Yeah, and what you're signing, be sure and read it.
Yes,
that's really
absolutely.
important. Thank you for that.
Of course.
Just a quick question. We've known each other for a bit now, and you're a business owner. So what would make you interested in shopping or talking to even someone like me for private insurance versus the marketplace?
A lot of realtors have, you know, whether they are solo practitioners or it's a side gig for them, a lot of times they don't have health care in place because they're getting it from their partner's employer if they have a partner. And if not, brokerages don't usually offer any sort of group anything. And so people in my industry, especially small business owners that handle their own business and may not have another job that gives them benefits, they think they're stuck with the marketplace. And I've had a lot of people actually that have commented to me about how expensive the marketplace is. And those are the kinds of people that I try to get to call you, because they, you know, generally speaking, don't have any crazy health needs, and they just need to have their normal bills and medications and everything covered. And so being able to custom fit a plan is really important for business owners that mind their budget.
Yeah, I appreciate that, because that's my heart, is to just make sure that I help shop everything that they need and get them the right fit without them overpaying for something they don't need.
Right.
So,
Yes.
Well, thank you for your time today, Anya.
Thank you
It's
so
been
much.
great, and thank you for explaining to the other people, our audience, what they are looking for when they go shopping for not just a home, but a real estate professional to represent them.
Yes.
So,
Yes. The home's just one piece.
it is. The whole transaction is huge by who you are in partnership with and finding that. So thank you again for your time today.
Thank you so much. I'm gonna go check my baby.
Yeah.